Life Lessons from the Upanishads, The Story of Nachiketa, Part 1. The Katha Upanishad narrates the compelling story of Nachiketa, a young seeker who embarks on a journey to unravel the mysteries of life, death, and the eternal soul. This story is filled with profound teachings and is divided into 3 parts to explore its lessons deeply. Part 1. Nachiketa's Dilemma and Departure. In ancient India, there lived a wise and devout sage named Vajasravasa, who decided to perform a grand yajna sacrificial ritual to gain merit and favor from the gods. As part of the ritual, Vajasravasa pledged to give away all his possessions, including his wealth and cattle, as offerings. However, Nachiketa, Vajasravasa's young and observant son, noticed that his father was donating only old and feeble cows, which would bring no true benefit to the recipients. Concerned about the righteousness of his father's actions, Nachiketa questioned him, "Father, to whom will you give me?" His persistence annoyed Vajasravasa, who, in a fit of irritation, impulsively replied, "I give you to Yam, the god of death." Despite the harshness of his father's words, Nachiketa, ever dutiful and respectful, accepted his fate with unwavering resolve. Determined to uphold his father's word and seek the truth about life and death, Nachiketa set out on his journey to the realm of Yam. His departure was marked by a mix of courage, curiosity, and a deep sense of duty. Nachiketa's quest was not just an acceptance of his father's impulsive words, but also a reflection of his sincere desire to understand the ultimate truths of existence. Arrival at Yam's abode. Upon reaching Yam's abode, Nachiketa found the god of death absent. Undeterred, he patiently waited for 3 days and nights without food or water. His unwavering determination and sense of duty did not go unnoticed. When Yam returned, he was deeply moved by the young boy's perseverance and commitment. To make amends for keeping Nachiketa waiting, Yam offered him 3 boons. Nachiketa, ever thoughtful and wise beyond his years, chose his boons carefully, each reflecting his quest for harmony, knowledge, and truth. The first boon, harmony and reconciliation. For his first boon, Nachiketa requested that his father's anger be pacified and that he would welcome him back lovingly. Yam granted this wish, ensuring that Nachiketa's father would be free from anger and would recognize his son's devotion and dutifulness. This boon highlighted Nachiketa's deep sense of familial duty and his desire to restore harmony in his family. The second boon, the sacred fire ritual. For his second boon, Nachiketa asked to learn the sacred fire ritual that leads to heaven and eternal peace. Yam, pleased with Nachiketa's request, not only taught him the ritual, but also named it Nachiketa Agni in his honor. This boon symbolized Nachiketa's pursuit of spiritual knowledge and his desire to understand the rites that lead to a higher state of existence, reflection and preparation. With 2 boons granted, Nachiketa took time to reflect on his journey and prepare for his third and final boon. He knew that his ultimate quest was to seek knowledge beyond the material and the temporal. His first 2 boons had addressed his immediate concerns for family harmony and spiritual practices. Now, Nachiketa's focus shifted to the profound mystery that had driven him to Yam's abode in the first place, the nature of the soul and what lies beyond death. Nachiketa's story in this first part of the Katha Upanishad sets the stage for a deeper exploration of the ultimate truths of life and death. His courage, determination, and unwavering commitment to truth and duty serve as a beacon of inspiration for all seekers of wisdom. Life Lessons from Nachiketa's Story, Part 1. Questioning for Truth. Nachiketa's persistent questioning of his father's actions teaches us the importance of seeking truth and not blindly accepting actions or beliefs. Courage and duty. Nachiketa's acceptance of his fate and his journey to Yam's abode highlight the significance of courage and duty in the pursuit of knowledge. Patience and determination. His patient wait at Yam's abode underscores the importance of perseverance and commitment in the face of challenges. Harmony and reconciliation. The first boon emphasizes the value of familial harmony and reconciliation, showing that true wisdom also includes caring for one's relationships. Pursuit of spiritual knowledge. The second boon reflects the importance of seeking spiritual knowledge and understanding the rites and practices that lead to higher states of existence. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will delve into Nachiketa's profound inquiry into the nature of the soul and the mysteries of life and death. Life Lessons from the Upanishads, the Story of Nachiketa, Part 2. Continuing from where we left off, Nachiketa's journey to uncover the mysteries of life and death takes him deeper into the realms of philosophical and spiritual inquiry. With two boons granted by Yam, the god of death, Nachiketa now approaches his third and final boon with a sincere quest for ultimate truth. Part 2. The Inquiry into the Nature of the Soul. After having restored harmony in his family and learned the sacred fire ritual, Nachiketa's focus shifted to the profound question that had driven him to Yam's abode: what happens after death? Eager to understand the nature of the soul and the ultimate truth of existence, Nachiketa posed his third boon to Yam, asking, what happens to a person after death? Is there something that remains, or does everything perish? Yam, recognizing the profundity and difficulty of this question, initially tried to dissuade Nachiketa from pursuing this line of inquiry. He offered him all manner of worldly pleasures and material wealth instead: riches, long life, and power. Yam's intention was to test Nachiketa's resolve and discern whether the young seeker truly yearned for spiritual knowledge or could be tempted by earthly rewards. Nachiketa's determination. However, Nachiketa was unwavering in his pursuit of truth. He respectfully declined Yam's offers, saying, "These transient pleasures and material gains are fleeting. They cannot satisfy the deeper yearning of the soul. I seek the knowledge that transcends death and leads to eternal understanding." Impressed by Nachiketa's determination and purity of heart, Yam conceded and agreed to teach him the secret of what lies beyond death. He commended Nachiketa for his steadfastness and courage, qualities essential for any seeker of ultimate truth. The teachings of Yam. Yam began to impart his profound teachings to Nachiketa. He explained that the self, or the soul, Atman, is eternal and indestructible. It does not die with the body, but continues to exist beyond physical death. The soul is a part of the supreme reality, Brahman, which is the ultimate source and essence of all creation. Yam taught Nachiketa about the nature of the human mind and the senses, which often lead individuals astray with desires and distractions. He emphasized the importance of self-discipline and control over one's senses to attain true knowledge and spiritual enlightenment. Yam's teachings included the following key concepts. The eternal soul, Atman the soul, is immortal and cannot be destroyed. It transcends physical death and remains unaffected by the changes in the material world. Unity with Brahman. The soul is inherently connected to Brahman, the ultimate reality. Realizing this unity is the key to achieving liberation, moksha, and eternal bliss. Self-realization. Understanding and realizing one's true nature is essential for spiritual growth. This requires introspection, meditation, and control over the mind and senses. Transcending desires. Material desires and worldly pleasures are temporary and ultimately unsatisfying. True fulfillment comes from seeking higher knowledge and understanding the eternal truth. The path to liberation. Yam further explained the path to liberation, emphasizing the importance of wisdom, meditation, and self-control. He spoke of the various practices and disciplines that help an individual overcome ignorance and realize their true self. Yam's teachings were profound and required deep contemplation and inner transformation. Nachiketa, with his sincere desire for truth and his unwavering commitment to spiritual knowledge, absorbed these teachings with great reverence. He recognized that the journey to self-realization was an inner journey that required dedication, perseverance, and a pure heart. reflection, and transformation. As Nachiketa reflected on Yam's teachings, he experienced a profound transformation within himself. He realized that the answers to the mysteries of life and death lay not in external pursuits, but in the inner quest for self-understanding. Nachiketa's journey was one of deep introspection and spiritual awakening, guided by the wisdom of Yam. Life Lessons from Nachiketa's Story, Part 2. Seeking Eternal Truth. Nachiketa's unwavering pursuit of knowledge beyond worldly pleasures underscores the importance of seeking eternal truth and spiritual wisdom. Determination and purity of heart. His determination and purity of heart serve as essential qualities for any seeker of ultimate truth and enlightenment. The nature of the soul. Understanding that the soul is eternal and indestructible is a key lesson from Yam's teachings. Unity with Brahman. Realizing the unity of the individual soul with the supreme reality, Brahman, is essential for achieving liberation. Self-discipline and control. The importance of self-discipline, control over the senses, and transcending material desires is emphasized as necessary for spiritual growth and enlightenment. Stay tuned for Part 3, where we will conclude Nachiketa's journey and explore the final lessons he learns from his profound inquiry into the nature of existence. Life Lessons from the Upanishads, The Story of Nachiketa, Part 3. In the final part of the story of Nachiketa from the Katha Upanishad, we witness the culmination of Nachiketa's journey as he fully grasps the profound teachings of Yam, the god of death. This concluding segment delves into the transformative power of Nachiketa's inquiry and the ultimate lessons he learns about life, death, and the eternal soul. Part 3. The Realization of the Eternal Truth. Nachiketa's unwavering determination and purity of heart have led him to the deepest realms of philosophical and spiritual inquiry. Having received Yam's teachings about the eternal nature of the soul and the unity of the Atman with Brahman, Nachiketa's understanding and consciousness have reached new heights. Yam continues to guide Nachiketa through the intricacies of life and death, emphasizing the importance of self-realization and the liberation of the soul. He teaches Nachiketa that the true essence of existence lies in recognizing the self, Atman, as one with the ultimate reality, Brahman. This realization transcends the cycle of birth and death and leads to eternal bliss and freedom. The inner journey. Yam explains that the path to self-realization is an inward journey that requires deep introspection and meditation. It involves overcoming ignorance, avidya, and the illusions created by the material world, Maya. To achieve this, one must cultivate wisdom, vidya, self-discipline, and a focused mind. Nachiketa learns that the self is distinct from the physical body and the mind. While the body is subject to birth, growth, decay, and death, the self remains eternal and unchanging. The realization of this truth brings about a profound transformation in Nachiketa's perception of life and existence. The parable of the chariot. To illustrate his teachings, Yam presents the parable of the chariot. He explains that the body is like a chariot, the senses are the horses, and the mind is the reins. The intellect serves as the charioteer, guiding the chariot towards its destination. The self, Atman, is the passenger who rides in the chariot. In this metaphor, Yam emphasizes the importance of controlling the mind and senses to achieve self-realization. A disciplined mind, guided by wisdom and intellect, can lead one to the ultimate truth. Conversely, a mind driven by desires and uncontrolled senses leads to ignorance and suffering. The path to liberation. Yam outlines the path to liberation, Moksha, which involves several key practices: self-discipline, cultivating control over the senses, and mind to overcome desires and distractions. Meditation, practicing deep meditation to attain inner peace and connect with the true self. Wisdom, seeking knowledge and understanding of the eternal truths through study and contemplation. Detachment, letting go of attachments to material possessions and worldly pleasures. Righteous living, following the principles of dharma, righteousness, and living a virtuous life. By adhering to these practices, one can transcend the cycle of birth and death and achieve liberation. Yam's teachings resonate deeply with Nachiketa, who internalized the wisdom and commits to living a life guided by these principles. The ultimate revelation. As Nachiketa delves deeper into meditation and contemplation, he experiences a profound revelation. He realizes the eternal nature of his own self and its unity with Brahman. This realization brings him a sense of inner peace, joy, and liberation from the fears and uncertainties of life and death. Nachiketa's journey culminates in the ultimate understanding that the self is immortal, and true liberation lies in recognizing this eternal truth. He returns to his father and community with a newfound sense of wisdom and purpose, ready to share the profound teachings he has received. Legacy of Nachiketa. The story of Nachiketa, as narrated in the Katha Upanishad, serves as a timeless guide for spiritual seekers. It emphasizes the importance of courage, determination, and an unwavering quest for truth. Nachiketa's legacy continues to inspire generations, reminding us that the ultimate answers to life's mysteries lie within ourselves. Life Lessons from Nachiketa's Story, Part 3. Self-realization, understanding the eternal nature of the self and its unity with Brahman, is the key to liberation and eternal bliss. Inner journey. The path to self-realization requires deep introspection, meditation, and overcoming ignorance. Control of mind and senses. Disciplining the mind and controlling the senses are essential for achieving wisdom and inner peace. Detachment. Letting go of material attachments and desires leads to true fulfillment and liberation. Righteous living, following the principles of dharma, and living a virtuous life are fundamental to spiritual growth. The journey of Nachiketa, from a curious boy to an enlightened soul, is a testament to the transformative power of spiritual inquiry and the eternal wisdom of the Upanishads. His story continues to guide and inspire us on our own paths to self-discovery and enlightenment.